Well, guys, the CPAC Hungary lineup has come out, and it's quite a doozy, as you'd expect. I don't believe there's been this much of a collection of fascists since the Axis powers got together for meetings back in the days. What to say? A whole host of Hungarian fascists on here. Of course, it's their home territory. They'd want to show off their best and brightest when it comes to torture and racism and killing and maiming. Viktor Orban, there, of course, who originally ran as a reformer back in the old days when they were fighting against the old sort of Soviet-backed parties in Hungary, and then proceeded to turn on all of those who helped get him elected and do the very same thing that he had claimed to be against, which was to close all truth and transparency in the country, shut down the media except for those who supported him, put judges in office that would support him, take businesses from those that wouldn't, the Putin play. Orban is there. Orban, endorsed by Trump, supported by Tucker Carlson, who goes and sort of kisses his shoes every couple months when he gets a chance to for a nice vacation in Budapest. And a little bit of authoritarianism on the side. There's some other really interesting folks there too. It's a sort of rogues gallery, doesn't quite do it justice. I don't know if you ever saw The Naked Gun. You remember that scene in the beginning when Lieutenant Drebin goes in and busts in and has to beat up a whole room full of, who was it, Idi Amin, Yasser Arafat, Fidel Castro, Gaddafi, Khomeini. I think Gorbachev was there too. He rubbed the thing off his head, his birthmark. Gorbachev got a lot better later on. The rest, not so much. But that's what you're thinking about when you're thinking about the rogues gallery of folks who are at this thing. I mean, incredible. A lot of guys, if you look them up, who belong to Orban's little fascist party, in Hungary. Max Schlapp is there. I'm going to guess he's there shopping for dishwashers. As you know, they're very hard to find in the United States. It was impossible. It's like a year or 47-year backup. So he'll be there doing that and also sharing how he went from being a conservative to being a fascist. And the answer is all it took was people stuffing money in his pockets. Candace Owens, failed model actress turned, of course, right-wing nut. And Hitler enthusiast. It makes sense she was there. You may remember she's infamous for saying that if Hitler just had invaded other countries, he was doing a lot of good stuff domestically, which a lot of Jews and gypsies and folks who are from the LGBTQ community, I'm sure, would agree with all that. Everything was hunky dory in Germany if he just stayed there. Great for the economy. Who else? Rick Santorum, who I just can't believe so many people I know mainstreamed this guy from the Philadelphia Inquirer to CNN, virulently right-wing, virulently anti-abortion to the point of being obsessed and sick governor of Pennsylvania, who thankfully got his ass kicked by Bob Casey a couple terms ago and has not been able to get back into office since. Who else do we have? We have Mark Krikorian, of course, executive director of the unbelievably racist and great replacement theory supporting Center for Immigration Studies. We have, I don't know, let's see, the CEO of Parler. I like to call it Parlay because it probably annoys them. George Farmer. Poor guys. They can't keep up with getter, truther, puncher, take abortion away from her. I don't know. He'll be there trying to claim that that's where social media really is at its best. We've got a professor from Hillsdale College, the infamous Christian college, where a father-in-law was having sex with his daughter-in-law in this huge scandal because they're very Christian and don't do stuff like that. But if you ever wondered if this is a Christian nationalist conference, meaning Christian white, should rule the world, there you have it. Hillsdale isn't one that actually, read what Jesus said about, the Good Samaritan or getting in through the eye, a camel getting in through the eye of a needle. A person getting in, a camel getting in has more likeliness to get in to heaven through the eye of a needle than a rich person. Sorry, I screwed that one up, something fierce. They don't go for that form of Christianity. They're the Christian nationalist types. What else do we have here? We have a nice collection of fascists from other countries. We have them from the Flemish Fascist Party, cool, the Austrian Fascist Party, and hell, we even have U.S. congressmen there. That's right, U.S. congressmen are going to a country, an authoritarian country, where they overthrew freedom, where they banned publications, where journalists have been attacked, where other parties have been rendered irrelevant, which is what they try to do through gerrymandering here, Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart from Cuba. You'd think he might know better, but then again, his family were friends with Batista back in the day. Andy Harris of Maryland and Mike Waltz of Florida. They'll be there selling their American version of fascism and how they'd like to suppress any vote that's not white and Christian. And of course, Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is there. I don't know if he'll be using that as his voting address in the future. We never know where Mark Meadows is going to claim he votes, because obviously voting, fraud is awful, except for when Mark Meadows does it. Maybe we'll get some more texts between him and everybody else that will let us in on more of their fascist plans for the future, like we did with January 6th from good old Mark while he's here. Oh, there's a Bolsonaro there. Shocker. Member of the Chamber of Deputies in Brazil. I'm sure he's not related at all to the other Bolsonaro. Anybody else? Oh, Nigel Farage, Putin's puppet in the United Kingdom. Kind of the United Kingdom version of Donald Trump, but he just couldn't get himself elected prime minister. He helped support Leave, though, to support their goals of breaking up the European Union and NATO and letting Russia have free reign. I don't think there's anybody else really that interesting. Oh, Project Veritas board member, of course, because Project Veritas is about honesty and truth, like in their name, and not at all about right-wing shit-cantery. What a terrible collection of awful people. Follow them. Pay attention to what they're doing. This will be May 19th to May 20th in Hungary. I'm sure they'll have a wonderful time. All the Americans going over there, sharing fascist secrets, fascist recipes. Ooh, sometimes you I'm not going to even make that joke. But this is what Tucker Carlson, this is what Donald Trump, this is what the Republican Party wants here. They want an authoritarian government where the media cannot criticize them, where judges will always do their bidding, and they're getting closer to it, where their party cannot lose due to gerrymandering, and they just walk around pretending like we still have a democracy. Pay attention to what they say, and let's stop them now.